Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Pentacles. You are sometimes a creature of habit. I feel like you sort of have a good foundation of your life. You know, I feel like you have a very strong base built for yourself. Okay? This could be something related to the home. It could be your financial situation. This is a card of health and wealth, right? This is a card of fitness and finances. It's safety, security, and integrity. Stability, right? So I feel like you have a very nice routine of life. You know, you're probably somebody that wakes up at about the same time every day. I feel like you have a series of like chores or exercises that you do. You have a really structured life right now. I feel like this is a very good foundation. I feel like you're somebody who appreciates a healthy routine. I feel like you're somebody who knows how to save money, you know, but has you have a good system going. Yeah, you have a really nice routine of life. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, because anytime we get a 4, we start looking around for the 5, right? Oh, but we got a 9. Very good. 9 is kind of saying that, look, all of your routine, your day-to-day operations, ooh, yeah, they're paying off. This is a card of gain, right? 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, no, 9 of Cups, 6 of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Icing on the cake. I feel like this is going to be the best year of your life. I feel like you're very close to putting the finishing touches on something. I feel like this foundation that you have is a platform from which you can reach for, you know, even more prosperity. This is a card of gain, right? Of incoming abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. Okay? I feel like you're going to be very, very happy. I feel like you're very close to the goal here. We have a Wheel of Fortune. Oh, nice. We have the Sun card as well. 7 of Pentacles in a good position. Okay? Very good position. And then we've got the Universe. Yes, you're very close to your goal here. You're very close to kind of having the manifestation, right? Whatever your will and intention is, you're about to manifest that. This is kind of a card of completion. It's saying you're about to get to the goal, whatever your goal is. Okay, let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. We'll use all of those. It's the factor infinite and unknown. Okay, well, one of them is known. We have an Ace of Swords. But then we have, oh gosh, we got 3 mystery cards. Oh dear. Okay, we're going to put our very own Kelly Kapoor right there on top. Let's see if we can make room for all of these things. You have clarity too, another ace, right? 3 aces. And that last ace, this was a volunteer, right? If you have a prediction for the mystery cards, put them in the comments down below, okay? Let's look around the room here and see what we have again. We've got 1, 2, 3 major arcana energies. We've got fire, we've got water, we've got air, and we've got our earth cards over here, okay? The major arcana are beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune, right? You know you're meant for great things. You know that your life is improving. You're expanding your energy. You're broadening your horizons. You're in harmony with the cosmic cycles. And you are a radiant sun. You're an extraordinary force in life. People are inspired by you. Your light shines with a brilliance that other people only sort of wish for, you know. You have a charm about you. I think that you have a very cheerful, some might even call a bubbly attitude. And I don't know if this is always you. I think you're not always like on. You're not always cheerful. But lately, I think you've been a lot happier than usual. Okay, you're an optimist, and I think that life is going very, very good for you. And you know that this is going to be your best year, right? You know that all of your dreams are going to come true this year, right? We have the Ace of Swords also, which is certainty, clarity, and truth. Okay, certainty and clarity and truth, and we'll put that right up there. So yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff, especially the earth energies. The Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, the routine, the habits that you have, the healthy habits, the good, solid habits, whether it's fitness, finances, health, or wealth, doesn't matter. Your life routine is paying off in abundance, right? Paying off exponentially. So it may have been feeling to you like you've been grinding away at something for days and days, weeks and weeks, months, years even, right? But you never gave up. You kind of said, this is my will, this is the plan, this is what I'm doing, and I love it. And of course, it's generating a lot of income, perhaps. This might be a financial thing for you. You might be reaching a lot of your financial goals this year. But it's all because of these very healthy habits that you have. This is the budget. This is the routine. This is like, I wake up, I drink my water, I do my exercises, I try to eat right, I try to be healthy, like those kinds of habits. Day-to-day habits create the long-term success. Okay? So this is one day of your life. Morning, noon, evening, and midnight, right? So the 4 stations of the day. And I feel that you take life one day at a time. You try to do your very best. You try to stay focused and clear with this is the focus of attention. This is a purity in your heart. This is a clarity in your mind every day. Trying to do the right thing every day. We fail sometimes. You see that card over here. Failure. Sometimes we don't do everything we're supposed to do, right? But you're trying to stick to the plan. You're trying to stick to the schedule. You're trying to do your very best one day at a time. And look what it's bringing you. Abundance, wealth, gain, success. This is you living a successful life. This is you living the happy life. Okay? So if we just had this is saying, hey, I love my life. I've got a good routine. It feels good. My heart's pure. My mind's clear. My attention is fixed on the plan. And I'm doing this is good. Right? I'm happy about this. I'm enjoying the life that I'm leading. Well, that seems to be a bonus. That's kind of like saying now this life that we're enjoying, right, is now paying off exponential growth, right? It's paying dividends now. Yeah. Again, this is the card of gain and increase. This is a card of abundance. On the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. You're expanding spherically, right? Not just in one direction. This isn't just about money. This isn't just about your love relationships. This is your entire life is growing and getting better in every way. Okay? This would be a pretty good year if all my money problems were fixed, right? This would be a pretty good year if my relationship, I met the right people and my relationships are really strong. Yeah, that's good. It's a good year. Imagine if all of these things together, every dimension of your life, were to get better and better and better. This is going to be the very best year of your life. Okay? May not have been that way previously. The first few months may not have been that way. But the Nine of Cups, you're the optimist. Okay? And so I feel like you've made a choice to be happy. I feel like somewhere along the line, you decided that your happiness means more to you than anything else. So if you can't enjoy life, what's the point, right? The Nine of Cups is, joy on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. So I feel that you've sort of started to live your life saying, you know what? I know what I want. I know what I deserve. And, I know that my life feels better when I'm doing the things that make me happy. Even if it's work, even if I'm not so good at it all the time. But I feel better. I feel like my entire life is better when I'm doing the things that make me really feel connected, make me feel love, make me feel like I have a sense of purpose, that my life is meaningful. Okay? And I think that this attitude is a lot different than just having this sort of ambition of life. And you've chosen to follow your bliss, not follow the money, right? The money's coming, though. See, that's the cool thing. You followed your bliss. You decided that you want to live a happy life, connected, healthy, feeling good, making the right connections, being part of the team, part of a community, part of the universe, right? This is also coming too. But this wasn't the goal. This is very nice. It's great to see things expanding and growing and getting better and better and better in every dimension. So you have the water and the earth in this expansive increase. So I feel like your life's going to get happier and it's going to get more wealthy. Okay? You're an organized person, and I think that's kind of common amongst Virgo people. Pretty organized. You like to have things pretty neat and tidy. I think everything has their place, generally. Not always that way. Sometimes things are a little bit chaotic. Sometimes things are a mess. My grandma, she kept a tidy house. She's an Aries, by the way, but she keeps a tidy house, but she likes her house to feel lived in. She'd always say that. She said, I'm not going to spend all day cleaning and organizing and doing that so crazy, I want my house to feel lived in. And indeed, she did. There would be magazines here and there and things sitting on the countertops and all this stuff because, it wasn't like a model home, It wasn't just from a magazine or something. People lived there. There was a family there. There was life lived in that house. And I feel like you're the same way, though you like to be organized. You like to have things generally in their places. This is the card of a divine plan as well. Okay? And so I feel like this is kind of like your blueprint for the life that you want. I think there are certain things in your life that you want to have. This is a plan that says, I want to have, let's say it's the six pillars of health or happiness. I want to have a good diet. I want to get good sleep. I want to get movement in my life. I want to have good relationships. I want to manage my stress. And I want to have a sense of purpose. Okay? So all these are all your intentional ways that you wanted to expand your life. Whatever you're hoping to accomplish in life, right? Everything has a point. Everything you have in all these dimensions of life, you have goals. I want to, as far as our nutrition, there's certain goals I want to reach as far as my eating habits, sleeping habits, my movement, and all those dimensions. And I feel like if we made a lot of progress in one of those dimensions, it'd be a pretty good year. But again, I feel like everything is coming together for you in a really massive way this year. From here on to Christmas, right, is going to be a period of growth, a period of a lot of your plans coming to fruition. Okay? And it's because of your aces. You got 3 aces here. Okay? The Ace of Wands is your ability to stay focused. You're not someone who's prone to distractions. I feel like it's easy for you to sort of do your thing by yourself sometimes, to stay focused. This is your ability to look at something, to concentrate, And wherever you're looking, that tends to be where your body's going to go, right? You ever do that when you're in the car? And you're looking at something on the side of the road and you notice that your car starts to kind of drift in that direction. Or when you're walking down the street and someone's coming the opposite way and you're sort of looking at them and then you find that you sort of are drifting into that person. Wherever your eyes go is where your body's going to go. So if you keep your attention focused on your goals, the rest of the nonsense blurs into the background. Okay? So I think that you kept your focus on this plan and doing the routine. You have a plan, and day after day, you do your very best to have the routine, and that's what's creating the success. We have fire and earth. Your ability to concentrate on the things that you want to do and the things that you want to have in your life is paying off. Okay? And your heart is pure. There is no shame. There is no guilt. There is no animosity. You're a person of love. You are radiating love and abundance out to the universe. You're a very grateful person. Okay? I think that you understand the power of gratitude. Yeah. I feel that in the rest of this year, let's say this from now till Christmas, now until New Year's, right? Your cup is going to be increasingly filled. Your cup is going to run over. Okay? I think you're someone who shares your love and shares your wealth and shares your good fortune with other people. I think that you would literally give someone the shirt off your back. Okay? This is very Taoist, right? Love is very Taoist. The more you give, the more you have to give, right? You can use it and use it and use it, and it will never be exhausted. The more you love, the more you radiate out love, the more it comes back to you, the more you get filled up with it. So your cup is always full, Virgo. And I think it will be. I think the good times are here. And I think maybe the first part of the month wasn't that happy for you. I feel like you had a struggle the first few months. It was rough getting going for the first months of the year, okay? But now here we are, right? You have the Ace of Swords, which is your clarity of purpose, your clarity of mind. Again, it's kind of, with all three of these, there's the purity and the concentration and the clarity. You're not someone that's easily distracted by things. You have the ability to kind of just focus and do your own thing. Yeah. Your will is one. I think that you have a strong connection with Spirit. I think that you know that your life is... You know that you've got a good life, Even without the Nine of Pentacles, you kind of love your life and you love the way it's going. I think to have all of these different dimensions, all of these goals to be reached in 1 year, right, is going to feel like a blessing. It's going to feel like a miracle, okay? I think you're very close to manifesting all of these plans. Now, Path of the Serpent, of course, Wheel of Fortune, right? The Wheel of Fortune is this Jupiter energy. It's expansive. It's growing. It's spherical growth, right? By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, to me, as your general energy, it feels like you know your life is meant for great things. I feel like you can sense that your luck is changing. And I think that probably in the first few months of the year, you felt like you were at the bottom of the wheel, between the rubber and the road. I feel like now things are moving up, right? I feel like you're ascending the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like things are going to be getting better and better and better for you. All the cards are saying that. I think that you're going to find the expansion, new opportunities, more green lights. Doors are going to appear for you where there never were any doors before. You're going to have new opportunities for new experiences. I think there's going to be an opportunity for travel. Maybe one of your plans is travel. Because I think the 6 is really kind of all these plans that we have for life. Maybe it's like, I want to travel, I want to see certain countries. Maybe you are planning a trip, right? And I feel like all of these kind of goals are going to they're going to converge, I think, this year. And I think it's going to be really busy for you. You've got this Sun card in your relationships. You are an inspiration and an example to your friends and family. I feel like you have a light that radiates from you. I really do. I feel that, I feel like despite the challenges of life, you always have a positive attitude, or not always. We try to, right? Again, sometimes we fail. But you try to be always optimistic. You try to always, be shining your light. Okay? There's a charm about you. There's a charisma about you. I feel that you maybe have a very tight inner circle, okay, that you're probably not, you don't care about quantity. You don't need a lot of friends. You don't have to be the most popular person in the room. But you can't help but radiate your light. People are attracted to you. People flock to you, and you're kind of like you're batting them off like flies or something. Because you like to have a small, tight-knit group of people. And so everybody wants to hang out with you, and you kind of find yourself saying, well, you know what, thanks, but I'm kind of busy. I feel like you get asked out on dates constantly, It's kind of a moth to a flame, right? And you're the ultimate flame. You're the sun, yeah. And the sun can't help but shine its light onto the world. Everybody can partake of it. You can't, even if you try to hide yourself, even if you try to put on some really baggy, heavy clothes, really dark colors, people sense your light. People can feel your radiance. You walk into a room and people turn their heads. They say, wait a minute, something's different. Something just walked into the room. What is that force, And it really feels like a bright, I don't know, feels like a bright smile to me. Yeah. The next card is our Seven of Pentacles. It is the failure card. It is kind of like sometimes I get my butt kicked, and that happens. Not everything is going to be absolutely perfect all the time, where you're not going for perfection. You're going maybe for consistency. You're going for kind of a habit, a routine of a happy life. Well, there will be contingencies. We're in this routine of life. Sometimes we're going to get a flat tire. Well, that's okay. Sometimes other things in life are going to kick our butt a little bit. Well, that's okay. Sometimes I might fail. You have this whole routine of your day that you want to do. Sometimes other things get in the way. Sometimes I'm just too tired. Sometimes I don't want to do it. So we deal with that. And the thing is, the Seven of Pentacles doesn't have to become a catastrophe. We still have this very happy life that we're leading. Yes, sometimes the tires get flat. Sometimes I get into an argument with people, right? Sometimes things happen, okay? Spirit's saying something about fishing. I don't know if you like to fish or you have fond memories of fishing with someone, okay? But yeah, I'm seeing the fish and sort of the pole and like reeling something in, and it's kind of like, well, maybe that's a good metaphor, because you're fishing, right? You're enjoying the time. Maybe you'll catch something, maybe you won't, but you're there and you're out in nature. You're with your friends, maybe you're by yourself, but you're having fun. You're enjoying it anyway. If you catch something, hey, bonus. If you don't, no big deal, The universe card at the end, I was going to say the unicorn card. I don't think there is a unicorn card, but I don't know if that is, maybe that's something there for you. I don't know if you've been drawing unicorns or coloring something unicorns, but I've kind of got a flash of the unicorn. The universe card, right? To me feels like a holistic growth. It kind of feels like what we've been waiting for is finally arriving. Feels like there are no real boundaries here, that your life is going to expand as far as you want it to. It's kind of like you get to define the goals here. You get to set your intention, you get to make the plan, you get to do the work, you get to reap the rewards, and you can keep it going as long as you want. So this doesn't have to be like, this is the best year of my life and then next year is going to suck. No. Next year is going to be better than this year if we want it to be. There is no limit to the life. There's no limit to your potential. Okay? This is the completion of the goals after a long period of waiting, maybe, right? I think you've been doing your thing for a long time and it's about to all pay off. Let's look at the mystery cards and see what we have. Probably just going to do all three at the same time. If you have a prediction for these cards, we'll put that down in the comments below. I don't know what to expect here. Maybe some challenging cards. Maybe we'll get some more positive cards. Maybe we'll get some other people. Maybe we'll have some indication of what your goals are, or I don't know. Let's just see what we have. Look at that. Well, we've got a 6, a 4, ooh, and the death card too. Yeah, the death card is slow and steady change over the course of time. It's not an overnight change. It's not like suddenly everything hits. It's like you've been grinding away at life for a long time in this routine, but you've been loving it. This is my life, and this is what I do day in and day out. Like this is my routine, And the death card is saying that this change is happening slowly over the course. That's why I kind of got the feeling like the rest of the year, all these goals are going to come in. All these changes are going to start happening. This is a confirmation that you've been working on things for a long time. And now we're starting to really see the results happen, okay? The 6 of Wands, of course, is a card of victory. It's saying that I've focused my attention on my work, and look, I won. I did it. I got it. It happened, okay? A lot of victories, a lot of wins. The 4 of Swords is a card of, I think, like rest. I think literally, literally this year is one of a lot of activity for you. A lot of plans, a lot of things are in motion. I kind of feel like this is you taking a vacation at the end of it all, right? Maybe a little Christmas vacation or something, you know? Because I feel that, I feel like the 4 is also your ability to to keep a kind of a magical circle of protection around you. Yeah. And so I feel like we're doing a great job keeping negative energy at bay. You don't have any negative cards. Let me just tell you. I mean, you got the 7 of Pentacles, but that's in the position of the obstacle anyway. Because this is like, well, this is life. We got to get used to that a little bit. You can't have a life. You can't have a life without a little 7 of Pentacles now and again. Okay? But otherwise, you have all positive cards. All positive cards. And I think it's because you figured out how to fortify yourself against negative energy. This to me is like we learned how to get out of an upset when the emotions are heightened, when things are just going crazy. We know how to like breathe. We know how to like go do something else, remove ourselves from the situation, and kind of get back to our stable life. Okay? So like I said, anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5, but we didn't get it. We got another 4. Because you know how to keep something like that. You know how fragile our day-to-day life is. And so you do your very best to sort of safeguard your life, to fortify your life against negative energy. You're radiating your light so brightly that the shadows scatter. The negative energy scatters. Okay? So the 4 of Swords, I think, really is my favorite card here because I think this is how you're doing all this. Because you've learned how to deal with the turbulence of life in a way that keeps you stable. Otherwise, we have this 4 of Pentacles, we have this routine of life, right? Then something bad happens and what? The whole thing goes out the window. That we're frazzled and we're fried and everything's chaos again. Okay? You know how to keep yourself contained and collected and sort of put together, you know? Even when difficult things happen, even when there is a challenge, you know how to recover quickly. Okay. I love these cards. I think this is excellent. Now, because this is an extended reading, we're going to jump right into the extended. We're going to do some oracle cards. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. There is a link in the corner and a link down below if you want to join the channel and get the extended readings for all zodiac signs. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together. All right, let's get started with the extended reading. All right, we're going to do a hexagram from the I Ching. We'll do oracle cards, tarot cards, and we're going to leave all this stuff here so we can see how the energy might develop. But first, your hexagram. Hexagram 26. I think 26 might be boundaries. Ah, great beasts, yes. Heaven dwells in the center of the mountain, great beasts. The noble one makes use of abundant knowledge of previous arguments and former practices in order to develop the virtue. Great beasts, it's worthwhile to persevere. To not eat at home is auspicious. It's worthwhile to cross the great river. To not eat at home, right? In other words, don't limit yourself. Don't isolate yourself because that's kind of a risk that we have with the 4 of Pentacles because sometimes it is an isolating life. Well, no, I think you're out here radiating your light as a solar entity, right? But this is a reminder that, yeah, you know what, we don't want to be so focused on these routines that any disruption of that routine is going to send us into a tailspin. Okay, so it says don't eat at home. It says be spontaneous sometimes, right? Learn from the past, whether it's actions or people that came before you, to build up your character. If you don't rest on your laurels or neglect your duties, good will come. It's good to commit to something. Heaven in the mountain is the accumulated treasure of culture and civilization, as well as economics. Okay? Wealth and the wealthy need to get beyond and over themselves. We help to make the world a better place than it would have been without us here. Okay, I think that's part of your the sun in the universe, right? That you are a star in the universe. Yeah. So I think you are. That is a very important point. You are helping to make the world a better place than it would have been without you. Okay, and I think that is a good use of this wealth and the gain, the profit, and all of this abundance that we have. And I think you're out there you're very generous in spirit, right? Controlled power is willpower. The ego renounces selfish indulgences to work for the good of the whole. With such a spirit, great transformations are possible. The superior person studies the precepts of the work to increase the comprehension and the fortitude. Okay, so I like that. I like the hexagram here. The great beasts. You realize that you have a lot of power right now. You have a lot of influence on other people. You have an opportunity to really do something significant and really achieve a lot of these goals this year. And I think that whatever you're doing is it's for the whole, right? It's not just for you in that kind of selfish way, right? I think that hexagram's right on point. We're going to do an angel number as a mystery card. We'll just do one for all three of those mystery cards. We're going to do an oracle of empowerment. And there we go. And this is the mountaintop ascent. Though the way is steep and winding, I journey up the mountain. I find strength in knowing that others have reached the summit before me. I ascend for myself and on behalf of those who come after me. So again, you're an inspiration and an example to others, because you've committed yourself to something, a lot of things, and you're building a life that is admirable, big time. Okay, let's do an oracle of the radiant sun. Submission. Submission over happiness, right? And so I feel like this was probably a difficult time. I don't think you were always as happy as you seem to be now. I feel like there was a time where you were kept in a birdcage, so to speak. I feel like there was a time where you were denying yourself your own happiness in order to go with the flow, to fit in, to serve somebody else, or to contribute to somebody else's happiness, right? Rather than following your own bliss. And so we got out of the birdcage. We decided, hey, I don't care how comfortable it is in the birdcage or how much food is in there. I got to live life for myself. And so I think you chose to follow your bliss and live a life that felt right for you, that resonated with your soul, that felt harmonious with your aspirations. And we got out of the birdcage. We're no longer were submitting or in this position of submission to what anybody else may have had planned for us. Does that make sense for you? Let's do an oracle of creativity. The fear. If you want to be free of fears and phobias, then you have to understand why they exist and make peace with them. Well, that's part of our submission, right? Because when you're in the birdcage, well, you're protected from the elements. You are, you're fed, right? You're taken care of. You're indoors, probably, right? You're a little bird in a little cage. The wide, wide world outside is scary, right? So many people choose to stay in the birdcage because it's safe. It's limiting. Can't really do much. Can't move around. Can't fly. But I'm safe. So getting out of the birdcage is us facing our fears and realizing that we have to. I got to go pick up my daughter from preschool. Facing our fears, getting out of the birdcage is realizing that having this wide open life, it's a heavy responsibility. When we're in the birdcage and we're in this sort of submission zone, things are decided for us. Once we get out of the bird cage and we can spread our wings and we can fly, well, then there's predators. I got to find my own food. I got to build a nest. I got to find a mate. I got to do all these things now on my own. So I feel like that's what you did. I feel like you faced your fear and you got out of the bird cage and you started living life for yourself. And that is a heavy responsibility. And that means that some days we're going to have a seven of Pentacles. Okay? Let's do an Oracle of Metatron. The Void. Retreat, rest, and pause. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a rest at the end of this. I feel like part of this is you feeling contented, or you're going to take a nap. I feel like you've been working so hard, you're going to take a nap, you're going to go on vacation. And this might be that Christmas vacation, or that kind of like, maybe next year is going to be a little bit more chill. Yeah, the retreat, the rest, the pause, I think you deserve it. You deserve to to take a break from the routine even. And maybe that's just it. Maybe when we have this ace and we add it to the 4, of course we get the 5. So maybe this is saying like, okay, you've been really strict with yourself. You've been in this disciplined routine kind of a habit, for a long time, this grind, right? Maybe that Ace of Cups is saying, you've earned a little bit of repose. You can go do something different for a while. You can break your routine, go do something spontaneous. Don't eat at home. And maybe that's, part of it, like eating at home. I'm going to go home, I'm going to cook the healthy food, I'm going to eat right. Well, maybe once in a while you go treat yourself, you go out to dinner or something, I like it. Let's do now for the Path of the Serpent, we're going to use the Millennium Thoth. We have the Sun again, look at that. We have the 5 of Wands. It's kind of a fighting energy, but it's a very assertive energy. It's not submitting it by any means. And here we have the 8 of Cups. Sometimes our cup will be half full, sometimes it will be half empty. Sometimes there's dynamics in life. And so emotionally, there's going to be emotional dynamics. I know we have the Ace of Cups, the 9 of Cups. It's happy, happy, happy. The 8 of Cups reminds us, hey, sometimes we're going to be low. Sometimes I'm not going to be happy. I'm not always cheerful. I'm not always in a good mood, and that's okay. Accepting that part of us, that's part of being outside of the birdcage. Some days I'm not going to get it. Some days I'm not going to find the worm. Other days I'm going to find a whole bunch of worms. Okay? I guess that's what birds like to eat. Bugs and stuff too. There's the 6 of Swords. The divine plan. And you are fulfilling your destiny excellently. I'm not going to say perfectly, because there is no such thing as perfection. You're fulfilling your destiny impeccably, with heart, with clarity, with focus. Really is a blessing. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card over here. We've got 8888, personal power. Material and spiritual abundance, wealth, resources, force, balance, confidence, material gain, and epic romance. See, it's kind of a lot of stuff, right? All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending the number to reassure you of the prosperity and well-being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for the greater good. The 5 of Wands is your self-assertive energy. It's not like you're out there picking fights, but you radiate power and strength right now. And that's important, because that's you conquering your fear. That's you accomplishing your goals and reaching kind of a culmination of all these plans that you have. This really is going to be the best year of your life. And it's so close to really manifesting. Okay. I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. I love you deeply. And I hope to see you again very soon.